In the not-too-distant future, bullets have become the most important currency in the world.
Ну, 3 пальца можешь сэкономить.
Это какие?
9mm and 7.62mm caliber bullets have become the most sought-after treasures, because climate change has led to a global nuclear war. Civilization has been almost destroyed, lands have been scorched, and cities have been devastated. All high-tech has failed. Only violence is the supreme magic weapon. The lonely traveler Ronin wanders in the wasteland, searching for the murderer of his father. He spends years drawing a continental map, updating it as he moves. One day, Ronin meets the young girl Maria. Maria originally intended to hire a bounty hunter as a bodyguard, but since Ronin has just killed the hunter, Maria offers to hire Ronin, and takes out a precious 7.62 bullet as a deposit. She promises Ronin, if you can take me to the high wall of the distant country, you will get the highest reward. Ronin estimates that reaching the destination will take about 7 nights, and he agrees to. Maria, after weighing the pros and cons, the two walk together at a distance of several meters. Because they don't trust each other, so they deliberately keep their distance. Through their conversation, it can be known that, after Maria escaped from the community with her mother, she's determined to return to the place where she was born, and the bullets and sidearm on her are precious properties left by her father. As for Ronin, he has a hand-assembled gun at his waist. Because of its special model, it's almost impossible to find compatible bullets, but he still carries it with him all the time. Presumably it's also a relic left by his father. The two come to a nearby pile of rocks. Maria goes over and finds 5 bullets she hid here. After digging through a layer of soil, Ronin is about to open and inspect the goods, when he finds a group of unidentified people approaching. He signals Maria to find a place to hide, then pulls out his samurai sword and faces the enemy head-on. Although these masked guys come menacingly, their fighting skills aren't very good. Even with so many people attacking Ronin, they don't get any advantage at all. In a short time, a large number of them fall to the ground. The last survivor knows he is no match. He raises the crossbow in his hand. In the nick of time, Maria steps out and shoots through the masked man's head. In this world, bullets are equivalent to currency and are very precious items, so few people shoot during battles. Ronin doesn't blame Maria for taking action. He steps forward to check the belongings of the corpses, and take the valuable things. Ronin takes off the opponent's mask, and finds that this person is the heir of a certain tribe. Now Maria is probably in a big trouble. Ronin plans to reduce the time for finding food and resting, and shorten the 7-day journey to 3 days. The two find a place with their backs against the rocks, and plan to rest for one night, and go to the market tomorrow. Maria can't help asking, didn't you just say you wanted to reduce the rest time? Why not go directly on the road? Ronin explains, it's easy to be attacked at night, so it's best to wait until tomorrow morning to set out. The next morning, Maria wakes up with a pistol in her hand, and finds that Ronin is practicing swordsmanship not far away. She has a brainwave and looks through the other person's backpack, and there's an old book about swordsmanship inside. Judging from the clothing of the illustrated characters, and the characteristics of the text, this thing should come from Japan. No wonder Ronin is carrying a samurai sword. Maria's peeking behavior is discovered, but she isn't embarrassed, but asks, where did this thing come from? Ronin avoids talking about it. He only asks Maria to pack up and hit the road quickly. After the tribe finds the body, they will definitely come to hunt us down. Facts have proved that Ronin's judgment is correct. The tribe has indeed found the heir's body, because everyone is masked and it isn't easy to express anger. So everyone is panting heavily to show, I am very angry. Ronin and the other are on their way to the market. Maria can't help asking, what is the market like? Her tribe is on the edge of the endless abyss, and has never seen any market. Ronin warns Maria in a serious tone, on the market, it's very important to follow the rules. The first rule, if you don't plan to trade, don't talk to the vendors. The second rule, if you don't want to attract the attention of the guards, keep your head down and don't look them in the eye. The third rule, don't touch the things on the market randomly. The last rule, never take out any weapons. The market seems chaotic, but it's actually very orderly. Each clan has specific goods for sale. Some are in charge of weapons, some are responsible for food and clothing. Before every full moon, all residents in the valley gather here, to trade and replenish their needed supplies. Each clan also sends people to be responsible for security. In a word, the market is a sacrosanct place. Any conflict or violence is prohibited here. Only outlandish savages will ignore the valley's rules. Ronin comes to a stall named Jesse, and takes out the bullets searched from the corpse.
2 человека.
Jesse counts the reward, and soon comes back with the goods. He notices Maria beside him, and asks, "Where does this little girl come from?" The brand on her body belongs to the land over the abyss, and only the children of prostitutes will have it. Jesse suggests that Ronin deal with this trouble quickly, but Ronin ignores him. Instead, he takes the goods and chases after Maria. Just then, a quarrel comes from a nearby stall. The guard standing on the high place pulls the safety catch right away. Everyone in the market freezes, and the guest who just quarreled dare not make a sound anymore. The two leave the market quickly and continue on their way. The sun is so hot that it makes people dehydrated. Ronin and Maria find an empty house that can shelter from the sun, and plan to take a short rest in it. Maria carefully maintains her revolver, oiling and wiping it carefully, while Ronin digs a hole in the sand and lays firewood, preparing lunch for the two. After setting up the simple stove, he also takes out his samurai sword for maintenance. The blade doesn't like moisture or touch. No matter whether your hands are clean or not, they will leave marks on the blade, so it needs to be regularly cleaned with powder to absorb the residual oil and moisture on it. These knowledges were all taught to Ronin by his father. After they finish lunch and prepare to set out, Maria is curious about which community Ronin comes from, but the latter says, travelers are always on the road and don't belong to any community. Ronin detects someone ahead. Judging from the characteristics, he should be a messenger. Communication between tribes depends totally on messengers delivering letters. The flag held high in his hand is of great knowledge. Different colors represent different messages. The red color held by the messenger at present represents messages and agreements about food. Originally, this duty was mostly performed by birds, but wild animals are easy to starve to death, so it was changed to special personnel delivery, and the messenger is usually followed by a protector, who is staring at Ronin and the other person in the dark at this point. If the messenger is in danger, the protector will act right away. While the two are walking non-stop, the mysterious tribe hunting them down has followed the trail to the market. The guard blocks the road to prevent them from advancing, but the tribe leader ignores him, violently knocks down the guard, crushes his sidearm and takes the bullets. The leader warns the guard to honestly reveal Ronin's whereabouts. At this time, the two leading actors finally find a place to spend the night, before the sun completely sets. Perhaps because the two are too tired from the journey, they actually don't notice someone approaching while sleeping. The comers take the opportunity to knock them out. When Ronin wakes up, he finds his hands tied, and the still unconscious Maria lies opposite. He hears someone approaching, and quickly closes his eyes to continue pretending to be unconscious. Two men come over and drag away Ronin, and he is taken to a dimly lit room. There is a living person lying on the table in the room, and a bald man picks up an axe and dismembers the lying person. Ronin quickly knocks away the men beside him with both hands, then knocks down the butcher with a knife with several punches. The man on the ground quickly gets up to report to the boss. After learning the situation, the boss opens the basement, takes out several poisonous mushrooms from inside, shares them with two lackeys, then goes to the hut aggressively to settle accounts with Ronin. Ronin has already slipped away. At this point, Ronin wakes up the still comatose Maria, and helps the other two tied people untie the ropes. As for the three who ate the poisonous mushrooms, they actually mutate like zombies. Ronin cuts off the mutant's arm and stabs another person's head. He puts the knife on the leader's neck, threatening the other person to take the lead in finding the exit. The leader keeps preaching along the way, trying to persuade them to stay, but Ronin and the other turn a deaf ear, hurriedly following the path to leave. They return to the place where they rested last night. Luckily, the bags and luggage are still in place, not stolen. Maria has heard of the Night Tribe, knowing they survive by eating people, and believing in the same evil god as cannibals. If Ronin hadn't woken up in time yesterday, the two of them would have been made into human meat buns. Although Maria isn't injured, but Ronin still feels guilty. After all, he takes money to do things and should protect Maria, but last night he put her in danger. Just then, Ronin hears a burst of footsteps. He observes behind with a telescope, and finds the masked tribe chasing up. Ronin and Maria speed up right away. The tribe behind also chases closely. The soil under everyone's feet becomes drier and drier, and the temperature is obviously rising continuously. Soon someone collapses from heatstroke, and Ronin and Maria have to stop. They must save energy for the arrival of night, and the tribe can actually catch up so quickly, which means at least 2 days of non-stop marching. So physical consumption is more serious. Ronin pulls out his weapon, telling Maria to hold her pistol. At present, rather than continuing to escape under the scorching sun, it's better to take a chance. The two sides look at each other, from a distance of hundreds of meters.
Главное выглядеть уверенно.
In fact, the masked tribe doesn't attack first, because most of them are almost fainted by the heat. The leader probably also realizes that acting now is too disadvantageous, so he tells his lackeys to rest in place for a while, and find some food to replenish energy. Ronin takes this opportunity to place Maria by the waist, then takes out the map and tells her, if I don't come back before the moon rises to the top of my head, you first go to the place marked on the map, and when the time comes, as long as you take out my backpack, someone will come to help you. Ronin plans to go to the ruins of the old world, where fleas are guarding, and it's difficult to come out alive if entering. But the ruins have rich weapon reserves. If he can get a few heavy machine guns, he can definitely shake off the annoying pursuers. As for fleas, they're a kind of robots similar to beetles, running on solar power reserves, so they go into a semi-dormant state at night. Ronin carefully bypasses the fleas and sneaks into a shipping container. But the noise of closing the door still attracts the robot's attention. Luckily, the iron door of the container is thick enough, so even the fleas will take a while to open it. Ronin ignites a few pieces of waste paper as lighting, and quickly rummages for weapons in the crate. As for the fleas outside the door, they protrude weapons from under their carapaces, and start to violently hit the container's iron plate. The moment they break in, Ronin quickly raises his weapon and fires wildly, knocks down the fleas and leaves quickly with the weapons in his arms. Seeing him return, Maria hurriedly tells Ronin that the pursuers are coming. Ronin sets up the machine gun as quickly as possible. After a frenzied burst of fire, all the pursuers from the masked tribe are dead. Maria asks worriedly, the gunshots are so loud that they must have spread throughout the valley. Ronin says that no one will be stupid enough to come over and join in the fun after hearing such a loud noise. Then he checks the bodies one by one with his samurai sword, and 3 people really come at the sound. Ronin is worried that they will hurt Maria, and rushes over with his weapon right away. He dodges the crossbow bolt. Barry among the 3 pushes aside his companion, and shoots Ronin in the side. Obviously his aim is much better. Barry says, thank you for bringing the girl back safely, but if you dare to take another step forward, my crossbow bolt won't miss again. It turns out that this person knows Maria's father, and they also plan to go to the other side of the high wall, so they hope Maria will go with them. Ronin doesn't know the true colors of this group, and proposes to exchange the saved bullets for Maria, but Barry says, this girl is more valuable than anything you can give us. But his accomplices are eager for the bullets. In case you don't know, this is the guy who missed every shot. I really don't know where he gets his confidence. Barry doesn't mind this person being killed at all. Anyway, Maria has agreed to leave with them. Before Maria leaves, she gives the necklace left by her mother to Ronin, and gradually disappears into the night, and Ronin hurriedly deals with the wound on his abdomen. In such a hot place, a little inflammation can be life-threatening. The next morning, the leader of the masked tribe gets up. This scene is more or less funny, probably because Ronin left him behind when making up the knife. Maria is taken to the building outside the high wall. A Nolan with the same hairstyle as her is sitting on a throne made of machine guns. Needless to say, this man must be Maria's father. And on both sides of the hall are full of men and women with serious expressions. A dwarf serves beside the throne. Is this really not cosplaying Game of Thrones? The women on one side of the room are all the wives of the blonde king, and Maria's mother was once one of them, and according to Nolan, she was still very favored at that time. Anyway, Nolan won't treat his own flesh and blood badly. He tells Maria, you are the master here. You can freely choose to leave or stay. Maria just wants to know why her father left such a shameful brand on her face, but the latter has no intention of explaining, and shows off by saying, you are the first person to leave a brand. Maria is very angry when she hears this, so she challenges her father, and the latter pushes out a woman to fight instead of himself. This is obviously looking down on Maria. She pulls out a dagger, and prepares to teach these people a lesson. Nolan suddenly shoots and kills the woman, and says he was just joking. He can give Maria the right to duel, but suggests that the other person stay and learn from him first. After completing the study, Nolan can give Maria a chance to kill him. As for Ronin, He's trying his best to find the bullets for that handmade gun. He has seen the well-preserved ammunition of the old world, and has also touched the facilities that once manufactured weapons, but after traveling far and wide for so many years, he has still not found bullets compatible with that pistol, so Ronin uses an ancient book as a bargaining chip, to exchange for bullet inventory with the people of the Dome Church. Luckily, he got the bullets he wanted. Then Ronin comes to the outside of Nolan's palace, and solves 2 goalkeepers, and he goes into the underground through the elevator. Ronin holds a gun in one hand and a knife in the other, and as soon as he lands, he sees 2 rows of soldiers. Ronin really had a very satisfying battle, and the corridor is piled with corpses. The sound of fighting and gunshots clearly spreads into the hall. All soldiers line up and guard in front of Nolan's throne. They hold their breath and wait for the enemy to appear, and the hands holding weapons can't help but tense, and Ronin appears with a human sandbag. Maria recognizes him and hurriedly tells her father not to hurt him. When Nolan hears this, he signals the dwarf to turn on the music. Yes, you aren't mistaken, every time Nolan wants to deliver an important speech, he will personally match it with BGM, thereby showing his style. It's hard to imagine these lackeys, why they didn't rebel and kill him early. Ronin hands over the weapon in his hand, and orders Nolan to let Maria go. Nolan actually takes a fancy to Ronin, and wants him to stay, and serve as the captain of the guard. Ronin only wants to say about this:
Может, ты уже заткнешься?
The leader of the tribe actually chases to the scene. Those who don't know may think, this palace is the hometown vegetable market. Why can anyone come in? The dwarf guard has developed a conditioned reflex. He turns on the BGM as soon as someone arrives. Nolan points at Ronin and Maria respectively. The meaning is very simple. I'm here for these 2 people today. Nolan becomes interested at this. He proposes to have a fair duel with Ronin and the leader, and the winner can take Maria away. After speaking, Nolan puts on his combat mask. He walks between the 2, and throws a golden dagger into the air. The 3 reach out to grab the weapon at the same time. Unexpectedly, this Nolan can really fight. He seizes the opportunity to stab the back of the tribe leader's neck, but the other person is big and has a thick health bar. He quickly pulls out his weapon and stabs Nolan. After several fierce battles, everyone is stabbed by the knife, but the leader is clearly at a disadvantage. Nolan doesn't give him a chance to catch his breath, steps forward and stabs him to death with random slashes, then rushes towards Ronin with the dagger in hand. Finally he defeats the 2 challengers. Nolan picks up the samurai sword on the ground, and prepares to kill Ronin to kill future troubles. Maria has somehow sat on the throne. She activates the hidden mechanism in the armrest, and personally blasts her father into a beehive. Then Maria walks to the body, picks up the crown and puts it on. She gives her father's golden bullet to Ronin, saying she has paid the agreed reward. Maria won't leave with Ronin. She has tasted the taste of power and victory, and is determined to stay on the Iron Throne. When the 2 first met, their hearts were full of the fire of revenge, but Ronin has understood his father's words in the long process. Travelers don't belong to a community, nor should they have any goals. They should always be on the road. Compared to the destination, the scenery of the journey is the most important. It's a pity that Maria hasn't realized this. No one can make sure whether she will become the next tyrant. The movie ends here. This Russian movie actually has another translated name, The Last Ronin. The concept of Ronin originates from Japan. Originally, it referred to the Japanese shogunate era, samurai who lost their fiefs and left their masters to wander everywhere. They were the product of social unrest and a symbol of a culture, similar to the knight-errant in our context. And Ronin, who holds a samurai sword in the film, is exactly a Ronin. After watching the whole film, there's always a feeling of being at a loss. In fact, the director is conveying a Ronin spirit. They don't ask about the way back or the origin, but only forever on the road.